So, I wanted to talk about some things I pre-ordered, but it's kind of like, here's the thing about pre-orders. They don't come in, for a while, so it's like you want to talk about them, but you can't, and then you're like sitting here going, how do I talk about it? So I'm just going to make this video just because I want to. And one of these things is actually coming out this week. At the time of recording this is a Sunday. It's coming to me on Tuesday because it's finally actually releasing. Now, this is from Mill Creek Entertainment. They release like those retro VHS slipcovers, these Ultraman sets and stuff like that, the type of stuff. They do a lot of stuff, but I'd never seen these movies, and these movies are the My Girl movies. 1 and 2, it's a double feature set, $13 on Blu-ray. I believe this is the first time the second one has been on Blu-ray. I think the first one has. I'm not really sure on that. Someone could correct me down in the comments down below if they know. But yeah, I've never seen these movies. They're really popular because this was a bit out of all the Mill Creek movies coming out on Blu-ray. This is the one that a lot of people were talking about, and I was like, all right, I'll pre-order them and check them out. And so, I'll have to check them out when they show up Tuesday, and I'm excited to talk about that when those show up. So that's the thing that's coming out. So all these things are coming out in March, except for one thing. And that I'll talk about at the end of the video. So the next thing I pre-ordered was a Funko Pop. If you don't know, I am a huge fan of the Dilbert comic strip and the series. Like, this is one of my favorite shows of all time. Very strange, weird show, but I love this show. And by the way, this show was put out on DVD by Mill Creek Entertainment. So yeah, like I said, they put out a lot of different things. A big fan of their company, though, and what they put out. And so yeah, I love that series, love the comic strip. And one of my most wanted pops, I think I made a video several years ago on my main channel when it used to be kind of a variety channel where I used to post different stuff, where I said one of my most wanted pops was Dilbert. I hope that happens. I hope they do Dogbert. They did not do Dogbert, but they did Dilbert. And hey, one out of the, hey, I gotta take what I can get. So, and if I want more, I gotta pre-order. So I pre-ordered it because out of all the pops coming out this year, this was the one I was like, I need this one more than any other pop. So I put that pre-order in, and it is coming March 29th. Doesn't mean I'll get it on that date, but that's the date it's supposed to release. And I pre-ordered that. All this stuff I pre-ordered with Amazon, by the way. Only time I don't pre-order things with Amazon unless it's exclusive or Amazon just doesn't have it available to pre-order on their website. But for the most part, I pre-order everything on Amazon because it's the quickest, it's the easiest. You don't have to pay for shipping if you have Amazon Prime, stuff like that. So, I just pre-order everything with Amazon. And yeah, I'm excited about that. And then the next thing I pre-ordered was the 10 Commandments on 4K. This is the first time I've ever pre-ordered a 4K. I've pre-ordered many Blu-rays, but this is the first time I've ever pre-ordered a 4K. Now, here's the thing about this, though. It was $20, and for a 4K, it's about standard. They're usually like $20 to $25. Sometimes 30. Actually, a lot of times 30. But this was a massive 4K. Because Ten Commandments is one of the great Hollywood epic movies. It's one of the best movies I would say ever made. It's not even a movie I like that much. I actually prefer The Prince of Egypt as a telling of the Ten Commandments. It's done a lot better, if you ask me. But this film, The Ten Commandments, is great. And, it was a few months ago they put out this version of the Ten Commandments. Now, let me show you what's so special about this version. First of all, it's a booklet, which is really neat. Now, this side is disc 1, which has the film on it, and some of the special features, and then disc 2 is the special features. Now, this part is all the 1956 version. Well, on the back here, we have the 1923 silent film. Now, you might be thinking, I didn't know there was a silent version. Well, what you didn't know about that is that the 1956 version is actually a remake of the silent film version directed by Cedric DeMille. So that's right, the guy who made the original version directed the remake. Now, if you ask anybody who's seen these, I think they'll tell you the 1956 version is significantly better. But it's still like, it's a great film, and I really want that on 4K. It's going to look phenomenal, but I can't get rid of this edition because it doesn't come with the silent version. And let's be real, what would the silent version do on 4K? Not really much, and it would be very hard to remaster, I'm sure. Probably cost thousands and thousands of dollars to do that. So I'm very excited about it. This is a 4K that I cannot wait to have. It comes out March 30th. I pre-ordered it back in February, so I'm guessing it's coming really quick here on that date. And I will definitely unbox it, talk about it, and then once I've actually watched the 4K on that disc, I will be probably reviewing it for the channel. But if you're a Ten Commandments fan, I recommend you get the 4K and this. If you can only afford one, then probably this. And if you really want the silent version, but if you don't care about the silent version, then get the 1956 version on 4K. This set, by the way, goes from $13 to $15. So if you really want this set, I think it's worth it. Definitely pick that up. I'm really impressed with Paramount's 4Ks recently, because it seems like they're really doing a lot of great work. Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop, those 4Ks look phenomenal. You got Days of Thunder, Top Gun, War of the Worlds, just some great stuff. So, all right, let's move over to the last thing I pre-ordered, which, let's talk about this, because this is an interesting one. So, a while back, I bought The Small Soldiers on Blu-ray. I pre-ordered this back in January, got it in February, and I was very pleased with this. I'm very happy with this Blu-ray, and this is the first time this film has ever been on Blu-ray. But what I said in that video was, when I first unboxed it, I said, I have this in a double feature DVD pack with a movie called The Explorers, which is also directed by Joe Dante. If you don't know Joe Dante, he directed this film, The Explorers, which, if you don't know that movie, he also directed Gremlins. That's his most popular movie. He directed The Burbs with Tom Hanks, and a lot of other movies. Looney Tunes Back in Action he directed. He's a very famous director. Not one of the most famous, but he is very famous in his own right. And he also directed Gremlins too. But anyways, I wanted this movie, but I said, I hope Paramount puts this out on, puts The Explorers out on Blu-ray. It's never been on Blu-ray. It's out on DVD. I was sitting there going, they should put that out. Well, Shout Factory said, screw you, Paramount ain't putting it out, we are. And I said, all right, I'm pre-ordering it. So this is the first time I've ever actually pre-ordered a Blu-ray from Shout Factory, but this was a pretty big one, because this is like, I wanted this. It was literally, I got that Blu-ray and a week later they announced this, and I could not be happier. I don't love The Explorers. I think it's a very flawed movie, but I did really want it on Blu-ray. And I had that double feature pack of Small Soldiers and The Explorers because I needed both of them, and The Explorers was out of print on DVD, so I had that sitting on the shelf, and I was like, well, crap, now I have Small Soldiers on Blu-ray, and this one's still on DVD, so I have to keep this set. So it's just sitting on the shelf, not getting any real watch time until they announced that. Now, I pre-ordered it and it said it was releasing May 11th. Well, a week later, they moved the release date till May 25th, which is actually the day after my birthday, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I cannot wait to get this and talk about it. Yeah, just big fan of this. Big fan of Joe Dante, and it's rest in peace forever Phoenix. He was great in the movie, but just the movie itself was kind of flawed. But I still like parts of it, and I'm very happy it's finally coming to Blu-ray for the first time ever. And this is from Shout Factory. And you know what? I said Paramount. I want Paramount to do it, but here's the thing: I didn't think a company like Shout Factory was gonna do it. Just because Paramount seemed like they were planning to do it, but I guess I was wrong. And here's the thing about it: Shout Factory is a better company than Paramount. Because I really like movies like these three movies here that have never been on Blu-ray. I'm really happy that these three movies here, Timeline, Good Burger, Small Soldiers, never been on Blu-ray, are being put out on Blu-ray. That's great. But the other thing I look at that going, they're on Blu-ray. They don't look as good as they probably could have, and there's very minimal special features. Well, Shout Factory puts a lot of special features. They make amazing artwork and things like that. So, I'm looking at that going, yeah, I prefer Shout Factory to do stuff like this. I'm happy we have the movies at all, but, I'm happy with a Shout Factory release. That's all I can tell you.